Hare Krishna. So, welcome to the sixth episode of our Bhagavad Gita study journey. We are on the second chapter where Arjun has dropped his Gandiv bow and waiting for Krishna to speak. So, this is where Krishna responds, and this is how Krishna responds. Krishna says, Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupasthitham anaryam jushtam aswargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. He says, Arjuna, from where has this impurity come upon you? He, after that, doesn't stop. He further chastises him very strongly. He says, Klaibyam. Klaibyam means a eunuch. He calls Arjun, otherwise several times he has called him Mahabaho in the Bhagavad Gita. He calls him Klaibyam. Why? Because Krishna wanted to take the position of Guru, and the first duty of Guru is to chastise and to cut the philosophy which is wrong in a student. So he calls him Klaibyam. Then he also calls him Kashmalam. There are so many impurities in your consciousness and in your knowledge. Then he says that it is Anaryam. So what is Arya? Arya is he who knows the value of life. And Arjuna, he calls him Anarya. So someone who doesn't know the value of life. He says, Akirti, this kind of stance that you have taken, your positioning, is not going to give you, it is going to give you infamy. It's not going to give you kirti. Then he says, it is aswargyam. It will not reach you to heavenly planets. Then he says, kshudram hrudaya daurbalyam. It is petty weakness of heart. So just give it up. So in this way, Krishna actually chastises Arjuna for whatever he has decided, that is not to fight. So Arjuna was presenting a lot of knowledge, but that knowledge was not helping him. That is the problem. So therefore, when we are also trying to learn Bhagavad Gita, we should be clear. Why are we studying Shastra? So we are studying Shastra, first of all, is to gain knowledge, information, the right information. Then we are learning Shastra to understand what is Dharma. Because we are being cheated every day by politicians, by journalists, by media people, by Bollywood, by false gurus. And therefore, the right kind of knowledge is very, very important. Then we should also learn Bhagavad Gita for personal application, for our own growth, for taking the process to grow through the circumstances of life. We should not just go through the circumstances of life. We should grow through the circumstances of life. Otherwise, it is just living like a stone. So personal application. Then comes preaching application. Because there will be always some refutations, some wrong arguments. And if we don't know what is the right argument in the society, we may fall down. And also we are responsible citizens of India and this society. So therefore it is our responsibility to uphold Dharma all the while. And for that we also need faith and conviction. So by studying scriptures, we will gain faith and conviction to remain strong in the challenges of life. Then we will also gain authority. We will become qualified to take the responsibility of teaching Bhagavad Gita. Then comes the theological application. We should be resolving the social problems, the social issues. Today there are so many people are speaking about Jativad. Today, because of Jativad, In fact, even the constitution is trampled because it is not supported by the right knowledge of the scriptures. In Bhagavad Gita, the Varnas are explained in a different way, and it is taken in a wrong way in the constitution. That a Brahmana's son will be a Brahmin, a Kshatriya's son will be a Kshatriya. No. Chaturvarnam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagasya. So by seeing the gunas, the character, and karma, the functions, the work that a person does, according to that, the varna is decided. So this kind of social issues that are happening in our country, that also will be taken care of. That is a responsibility on today's youth to understand the scriptures perfectly. Then we also can assess, evaluate a particular individual, a particular situation in life, a particular organization, or a nation by the three modes of material nature. So this knowledge of three modes of material nature is given in Bhagavad Gita, by which we can actually assess and we can raise the modes of material nature. Then comes the right mood and mission. So we should study Bhagavad Gita by to actually develop a proper mood towards Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, towards Sampradaya, the bona fide Sampradayas. Today people have lost respect for our culture, for our Dharma Gurus who are really sincere and bona fide. So why? Because there is an influence of Bollywood, there is an influence of so many wrong medias. So therefore, to study scriptures becomes a very, very important aspect. And I congratulate all of you to take up with this Bhagavad Gita study series. So vast material knowledge and massive economic development cannot solve the basic problems of life. What are the basic problems of life? Birth, death, disease, and old age. And therefore, we should learn Bhagavad Gita, which has got the solutions to all these four problems. Marilyn Monroe was a very, very beautiful girl. She was very famous all over the world. But she committed suicide. She was famous, she was wealthy, she was beautiful. What was lacking? It was the lack of spiritual knowledge. She saw a wrinkle on her face and she couldn't tolerate it. So there is something called emotional quotient also, not just IQ, but emotional quotient is also very important. And SQ, the spiritual quotient, is also important. Many years back, there was a IIT gold medalist. In the first year he got gold medal, in the second year he got gold medal, and in the third year he got silver medal. He attempted to commit suicide. Why? Because he was saying that I am a gold medalist. How can I get silver? What will the world say? So he just couldn't take it. He had a great IQ, but his EQ was zero. And therefore, what was required was the true knowledge, the true understanding, and which is very, very important. So there are various levels of knowledge. Now, what is this knowledge that we are trying to gain? There is Kala Shastra. So in Kala Shastra, people know various skills and talents, but there is also Niti Shastra. So with Kala, we can get some money, some wealth, we can gain some wealth. But Niti Shastra teaches how we should be righteous, how we should use it appropriately. But above Niti Shastra, there is Dharma Shastra. So Dharma Shastra teaches us about how to be in harmony with the environment and with the entire universe. So therefore there are various yagyas and pujas and so many other systems by which we can be in harmony with the devatas, with the complete ecosystem of this entire world, and that is also one very very important part of knowledge. But higher than that is Atma Shastra, the Shastra which we are learning. It is about the knowledge of the relationship between the Supreme Absolute Truth, us, that is the soul, and Prakriti, that is nature. And the relationship between all the three, if we can understand, there is no other higher knowledge than this. So therefore, this Bhagavad Gita study, if we understand, we will become truly successful. For example, Karna in Mahabharata, he was a very very strong warrior. He was not only a great warrior, he was in fact the first Pandav. So more than Yudhishthir or Duryodhan, he was the rightful heir for the kingdom of Hastinapur. Not only that, he was Surya Putra. He was the son of sun god, Surya Dev. Not only that, he was a Dan Shur person, means he was very charitable. Not only that, he was a great friend. He gave his life for his friend Duryodhan. So with all these wonderful attributes, did he get success in life? The answer is no. So what was missing? It was this Atma Shastra. It was the understanding of the relationship between God, living entity, and Prakriti, the nature. That was missing. If he would have understood Krishna, then he would have been truly successful. So Bhagavad Gita is like a manual. Just like if we buy a television, we get a manual along with it. If we buy a washing machine, we get a manual along with it. How to operate. In the same way, when this human form was manufactured by God, there was a manual that was sent, and that is Bhagavad Gita. There was a captain of the biggest warship, and we can imagine how proud he must be that he was the captain of the biggest warship of the world. So, any ship or boat, fisherman's boat, when they would come in front of the ship, he would tell them that you change the course. I am not going to change the course because I am the captain of the biggest warship. If you come in front of me, you will be destroyed. So one day, a message started coming. Change your course, we may collide, change the course. So this captain said, you change the course. Then again the same message came. Change the course, we may collide. The captain said, didn't you understand? I am the captain of the biggest warship in the world, you change the course. And again the same message kept on coming. And this captain, he just neglected. Finally the main message came. You fool, captain of the biggest warship. You may be the captain of the biggest warship, but we are not a ship. We are a lighthouse. So lighthouse is on a huge rock. It's a huge mountain. And anyone who is, even if the biggest warship, can it, defeat a rock? No. It will be broken into pieces. So this is how, even in our life, we may be learning so many scriptures and so many knowledges we may be gaining, technology and so many things are there. But if we don't learn Bhagavad Gita, then what will happen? We have lost the bus. Everything else becomes a big zero. America, with all its advancement in science and technology, when there is hurricane, they announce to all their citizens, run, bhago, we will not be able to save you. So therefore, the power of God, the power of nature is unsurpassable. And therefore, to become humble, to understand this, we must take up with Atma Shastra, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Stay tuned.